Geometry comes from the ancient Greek word geo, which means earth, and metron, that means measurement.
So we're going to start off with reviewing some stuff that we already learned. I hope you remember this. A point, a line, and a segment. The point just exists in space. The line has to have what?
Arrows.
On both sides. And then can you put an arrow on one side of this line segment for me? That makes it a ray. So that is a ray. Once it has a starting point and it goes on forever in another direction. Can you show me parallel? What's parallel look like? Okay, that's when lines stay equally distanced apart. Can you show me perpendicular? What's happening in that drawing?
The lines are overlapping each other.
And they make 90-degree angles. So it's important that we make all of these 90 degrees.
Yes.
So there's 4 angles here that are 90 degrees. So the way that we're going to do this is it's a drawing game. We need you to get some supplies. You're going to need a dry erase marker. You're going to need some kind of straight edge. And it'd be good if you had your dry erase board. What we want you to try to do is draw at the same pace that we do and see if you're accurate with this review lesson. So the first thing we're going to draw is an acute angle. And what makes an acute angle?
It's less than 90 degrees.
All right. Next, we're going to draw, ready? An obtuse angle. Obtuse. And if you're at home, don't just sit there. This is not a good time to veg out. We want you to play along. What is an obtuse angle?
An angle more than 90 degrees.
All right. Scratch that one. Next, we're asking for a right angle. What does a right angle look like? And what do you know about right angles?
It's 90 degrees.
That's right. Or like a corner of something. Okay, let's do the straight angle. People at home, you're supposed to be drawing along with this. Straight angle. What's that? That's a straight line, which is measuring 180 degrees. Okay, so those are kind of some things we might be using to describe things. Can you please draw me a right triangle? Now we are drawing the right triangle. What's a right triangle? See, you have a visual aid there. Some students have some of these at home. Some people have stickers. I gave people stickers. A right triangle. What is a right triangle?
A triangle with a right angle in it.
That's right. Okay, so we need 90 degrees in one of the corners. All right, new question. We need an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle. Equilateral. What does that look like? At home, you are drawing along.
It has all equal sides.
And when you draw an equilateral triangle, there's a tally mark system that makes people know that the sides are equal. If you put a little stick on there, that means they're each equal. Isosceles Interestingly enough, this right triangle is also isosceles because you have two sides
That
that are the
are the
same. And then the third side is a little bit longer. And also these angles are the same. These interior angles are the same as well. All right, next, let's do a scalene triangle. What does scalene mean? Scalene. I don't think do you have one? Okay, let's see if that's scalene. That one looks like it's had better days.
Yeah.
Scalene, what's that mean?
That all the sides are different.
Right. So no sides are equal. All the sides are different lengths. Okay, let's go next to, get ready in the audience. Okay, we're gonna draw a polygon.
And it has 3 or more sides.
Right.
So any shape with 3 or more sides could work.
It has to be a flat, closed figure. So it can't have like the lid of it open.
It can't be like this or like that.
Right. So this is a trapezoid, and it is a polygon, a flat, closed figure. All right. But you could have drawn a rectangle.
A triangle.
Right. Pentagon.
Anything with 3 or more sides.
Okay, let's go next. All right, parallelogram. Parallelogram, how do we draw that? All right, this angle's kind of bad, but what Emmy is drawing is a 4-sided shape with both pairs of opposite sides being parallel. A pair is 2, so this is one pair, and this is another pair, and this is your parallelogram. All right, let's go next to the next thing, which is a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. Do you remember in Spanish what cuatro means?
4.
So quadrilateral, what do you think that's going to be?
Anything with 4 sides.
So it's a polygon with 4 sides. So this is looking like a rectangle. From my angle, it's a little bit different, so I'm going to lift it up. That is a polygon.
And this could also
with 4 sides,
work.
Which is a quadrilateral. That could work too. Yep. Okay, let's go to a polygon that has 6 sides. A polygon that has 6 sides. We are doing the hexagon, which, how many sides does the hexagon have?
6 sides.
All right. 6-sided. All right. Does it remind me of a stop sign? Yep. Stop. Okay, next. We're doing the octagon.
We don't have the best octagon making skills, so we are doing the best we can.
I think the main thing is, if you can remember, oct is going to stand for 8 different sides. And I think it's like a lucky shape. I see it in Chinatown as a feng shui shape. So anyway, it's not perfect, but it's just a little bit irregular, which, as long as it's got 8 sides, that's an octagon. But a regular octagon looks a little bit like this, and it has equal sides, and then this would be irregular, the green one. Okay.
And so would this one.
It looks good to me, though. Let's go to a sphere. Sphere. What does a sphere look like? What do you think of when I say sphere?
Circle.
So a sphere is like a ball that is very round
A perfect
and
ball.
circular, right? A sphere is like a 3-dimensional circle, right?
Yes.
Okay, half of a sphere.
here we have our models.
By the way, that's the mysterious bird call in the background if anyone's a bird watcher. You can hear him in the background. The guy who fixed the internet thought it was a peacock, but I somehow doubt that. All right, half of a sphere. The only thing is, look, this one has a little more depth, and because the sphere is like half of a ball.
Like a bowl, sort of.
All right. And rectangular prism. We just made a video how to find the volume of the rectangular prism. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So rectangular prism. All right, so there's your rectangular prism. When we find the volume of that, fourth graders, feel free to start learning this rectangular prism volume. If you want to watch that, that's a different video. But feel free to start learning that. You're going to need to learn it next year. Okay, next, two lines that cross each other. What are those called?
They could be called intersecting lines.
That's right. How does that look? Intersecting. Intersecting. Remember to play on with us at home. Keep playing with us. It's good to use a straight edge. I had a math teacher who was really precise, and he wanted us to always use a ruler. Mr. DeVore. All right, good. Next, what is the distance around the circle called? The distance around the circle, what is that called?
Circumference.
That's right. So when you go around the circle, let's do more parts of the circle while we're at it. That's the circumference. What is it when there's a line that cuts immediately through the middle of the circle, exactly from one point of the circle to the other side and cutting the circle in half? What is that line called? It's called the diameter. And then if you take half of the diameter, what is that called? From the middle of the circle out.
Radius.
Good. And then if you draw a line from 2 points in the circle, do you remember what that is? 1 point to another point. What's that called? That is called a chord. And then do you remember what this is? This curvy stuff is called the arc.
Arc.
That's the arc of the circle. All right. And we did most of the parts of a circle. We're doing good. Next, I just want to be a little bit nitpicky. What is the tip or the corner of a triangle called? What is that called? The little tip. When you have the tip, a pointy tip on a triangle where the two line segments intersect, what would the tip section of that be called?
The tip would be called a vertex.
That's right. And also angles have vertices. Vertices, sorry, I said it wrong. Vertices. So this is an angle, and this is a vertex. All right. And if you drew a cube, you also will have vertices. And so basically right here is a vertex, here, 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 and we have some behind that we're not seeing.
And here also.
Right. Okay, let's go to, I think we've gone through the whole list. So I hope you played well. I hope you had fun. The last thing we're going to do is a game with a book that we have.
This book is called Amazing Visual Math. It's pretty fun, and it helps you with visual math, and it's very interactive.
All right, we're going to play a game. Get ready to play.
So we're going to start on this side. So this is shape shifters. So basically, you can fold the shape out, and it'll turn into a different shape. So first we have the triangle.
We want you to guess what you think it's going to fold out to be. So, Emmy, pause just before you fold it. The triangle is going to fold to be a...
And pause this video and try to guess. If you guessed square, then you were correct.
Alright, next.
Now we have a square. Pause this video and guess what it's going to fold into. If you guessed rectangle, then you were correct. Now we have a square. Pause this video and guess what it's going to turn into. If you guessed parallelogram, then you were correct. Now we have a square.
The big one.
This is a big square, yes. Pause this video and guess what it's going to be. If you guessed an even bigger square, then you were correct.
Alright, we got one more page of these.
Here we have a triangle, a bigger triangle than the one over there. And this one looks like an equilateral triangle, whereas that one looks like a right triangle. So, pause this video and guess what it's going to be. If you guessed hexagon, then you were correct.
Alright.
And now we have a hexagon. And pause this video and guess what it's going to fold out to be.
Oh.
If you guessed a star, then you were correct.
Wait, we can't really see it.
And this is a 6-pointed star.
Okay. Alright.
Now we have another equilateral triangle. This is smaller than the big one, though. Pause this video and guess what it's going to be. If you guessed rhombus, then you were correct. Now this is the special one. It's going to fold out 6 times. So pause this video and try to guess what 6 of these would make if you folded it out 6 times. If you guessed hexagon, then you were correct.
Alright, that was our fun little game. Thanks for watching.